This week, Deadly Class, Aquaman hits 1 billion, and we're going to show you some of the top sellers of 2018. Tune in, it's Previews World Weekly right now. What's up, Previews World? It's 4 p.m. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for Previews World Weekly. I am one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
And I'm Thea, and as usual, we're here every week to remind you guys to stop at a comic shop and get involved in the world of comics.
And we're going to talk a lot about Avatar and Watchmen on HBO. We have the top sellers of 2018, like I mentioned earlier. But real quick, I wanted to get this out of the way. Spider-Man Far From Home. The trailer dropped yesterday.
Yeah, the teaser's out.
Right. It's actually, I actually really like that trailer.
It's a solid trailer. It looks like some cool action happening.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, the storyline looks really fun.
It actually looks like a cool story. Yeah, we all kind of huddled around Johnny's, our editor's phone and watched it. But it's it's got Mysterio, it looks like. I'm speculating maybe Hydro Man, and it even looks like Sandman, but we don't know. And also you get to see MJ and Peter kind of starting to link up a little bit, which is nice. Yeah. I was a little skeptical about that after watching Homecoming. So it seems
in what sense? That you think it wouldn't happen, or?
No, I wasn't sure if it was, the dynamic would work. I wasn't 100% sure.
The way that we have MJ being portrayed here is a little sassier, I feel, than usual.
Right, yeah, well, for the movies, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely for the movies,
yes.
yeah.
So, but I like that.
I like it, yeah.
And I like being able to see that in the movies, like you said, for the first time. So we get Sassy MJ.
Sassy MJ. No, I was not a big fan of Kirsten Dunst, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of seemed like she was just kind of not really interested in being there.
Right. Oh well.
Sometimes that's the script doesn't do her justice,
true,
so
yeah.
I can't blame her on that. So now we're going to take a look at what's at comic shops. Anna Mia's here, and she's going to show us some of the titles that are hitting comic shops today. And when we come back, we'll give you some of our picks. Check it out.
What's up, Previews World? Mia here, and I'm going to give you a look at some of the new titles in store this week. Here's what's at comic shops. For more info on these titles and others, head on over to PREVIEWSworld.com/new releases.
Thanks, Mia. A lot of good books out. Anything you're looking forward to in particular?
One thing in particular I've been really kind of eyeballing for a while is actually Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder in Hell.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that later this week, on Thursday, we're going to probably throw up a interview with Mateus Santaluco. He's the artist and writer of that particular book, and he's going to give us a breakdown of that gorgeous cover, how he put that cover together. I mean, it's impressive. He's a writer and artist. He's tackling a major franchise. We already did an interview with him as writer, but now I just want to focus on that.
Cool.
But yeah, it's cool. He did a book called History of the Foot Clan, so he seems to like doing the villain side of the Ninja Turtles mythos. So
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
It just looks cool. I'm just very curious about it. Might have a Dante's Inferno type of vibe to it. And yeah. Orokusaki. I love it. I'm into it. What are you looking forward to?
Solid. I'm going to keep up with the retro theme we've got going here. I'm looking at that Ghostbusters, IDW 2020. So it's 20 years in the future, and it's a new generation of the Ghostbusters that are going to basically take on all the jobs that Ray, Winston, Egon, and Peter are not into doing. And they're called the Sanctum of Slime Ghostbusters, which I thought was a really cool kind of little title for these people. And yeah, I mean, just Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Right, yeah. It was a good one. No, the 2020 series is celebrating IDW's 20th anniversary. So there's a lot more 2020 books coming out, and Ghostbusters is one of them. I'm also looking forward to Infinity 8. So there's an interesting, on the website, and in a lot of the solicitations it says it's issue number 9, but they've been breaking them down into 3-part series, because they're basically bringing these over from France and bringing them to an American audience. It's a cool little book. It's a cool little sci-fi book about this cruise ship that it's stuck in space, basically. And you have all these different people on the ship that are you know, there are different interactions, different stories. Right. I just finished like the middle story, which is about this spy who loves taking selfies. So she's kind of a problem for her agency.
She's a problem.
She's a problem for the agency. She loves selfies, so she takes selfies with the dead bodies. But then she ends up fighting Hitler at the end, like his disembodied head. Like, it's just a weird, kooky, yeah. It's
Sign me up.
Right, yeah. I mean, like, you kind of hear that, and you're like, oh, okay, sure. So yeah, it's like a kooky little sci-fi book, and like it really is kind of plays out like an anthology. Definitely check it out. Yeah. It's colorful. The artwork's great. It's just fun.
That sounds fun. That sounds really cool.
What else you into?
Battlestar Galactica #3.
No, we're just going all 80s.
We are retro as heck.
Right.
But I mean, it's good stuff, right? And Battlestar Galactica is classic.
Yeah.
You ever watch the show?
I watched the remake. Never watched the original.
Me too. Yeah, I never watched the original.
The original was on Sci-Fi, and I always look kind of.
Maybe not this time around. Yeah, I feel that.
But the remake, I actually really enjoyed the remake. I don't think I ever actually finished it.
Me either.
Like I kind of got to a point where I was like, are they getting off the ship or not?
Right.
But
will the humans ever not be in space?
Right. Yeah. But at the same time, like it was a really well done show, really well crafted.
Absolutely.
Like just cool sci-fi. Starbucks the stuff.
But yeah, the comics got, you know, Adama, Starbuck, and Apollo, and everybody, your favorite guys.
Yeah.
So if you want some more story time, there you go.
Also out this week, for those of you keeping up with the Batman Who Laughs series, #2 is out. Of course, it's Scott Snyder and Jock. This is the breakout character from Dark Knights with an N, metal. And you know, the one thing I noticed, I don't know if you ever
Dark Knights with a K.
No, actually with an N. I always have to correct myself because it's not with a K.
What? Strike my remarks.
Right, and every time I pull it up on the search engine on our website, I'm like, why can't I find it? Because it's Dark Knights with an N. So
I'm thinking of the White Knight.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. And also, Batman's always called the Dark Knight.
Yep.
But like, you've seen the images of this character before. Did you ever play Silent Hill?
I did.
He reminds me of a Silent Hill character.
Yeah, he would fit right in.
Would fit right in.
Absolutely.
Right. This weird sort of like nasty fetishistic,
yes.
There you go. Getting for it.
Yeah. Spikes and metal in places that you wouldn't normally have them.
No, they shouldn't be. But yeah, it was like really cool. Like people are really into it. And it's basically the Joker got a hold of Batman finally, turned him into a Jokerized version of Batman.
Right.
And so the whole series is dealing with like that particular character. And you know, like I said, Scott Snyder's Jock. It's kind of creepy. It's fun. Yeah, it's a cool book. So.
For sure.
What else should people look out forward to?
We got Invaders #1 coming out.
Okay. Cool.
So this is in commemoration of Marvel's 80th, right? In keeping with that, and it's from Chip Zdarsky. And we've got the team of Cap and Bucky and the Human Torch and Namor, right? They all fought together in World War II. So we've got these guys have been around in and out, right, for a while.
Much, and almost 80 years.
Yeah, exactly. And now we've got Namor becoming a bit of a problem, so they're going to have to deal with him accordingly.
Right, yeah. No, I love that. Namor as a problem is always my favorite storyline, so I'm all for that. Also my favorite Atlantean royalty, we'll say, because he's a prince, not a king.
Solid.
Also out this week, Avatar from Dark Horse Comics.
Yep.
So this is kind of this is taking place within the movie, but also ahead of the movie a little bit because it's a limited series. And we're going to dive into, let me make sure I say this character right, Sute, right? And he's basically he was the rival of Jack Sully, right, in Avatar, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of you get into the inner workings of him and like what makes him tick, et cetera, et cetera. This is part of Dark Horse's wider initiative to like break out into the Avatar universe ahead of the movie. So definitely check that out if you're into it.
Absolutely.
And what else? What else should people look out for this
Finally, we've got Deadly Class coming out.
Yeah.
So the show debuts officially today, right?
Yep.
And we have issue #36 coming out today as well of the comic. So it's the new storyline. If you guys want to check it out, there you go.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're sort of getting to a finale.
Yeah.
Really, with the characters, we got Marcus and King's Dominion, right? So.
No, I'm very curious. Like I'm kind of like slowly reading that series because I kind of wanted to play catch up on it, and they took a break. I love it though. Like I think it's a great book. Like if you don't know, it's about a school of assassins. They're all teenage kids. They're all ill-equipped to handle anything.
As usual.
And it takes place in the 80s, you know. So still sticking to the retro vibe.
Yep.
You know, eventually Johnny and we're going to do a Get Graphic for that book because that was actually I really do enjoy that title. After we do Cosmic Ghost Rider, because we got to do that too. And so that's just some of the stuff out this week. Now we're going to talk about the news and talk about some of the things going on in the world of comics the last 7 days. Let's check it out.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what's been going on the social media aspect of things, right? We've got a whole bunch of cool stories happening.
A whole bunch.
So coming up this spring, Marvel fans will go back to the beginning of the rocky relationship between Thanos and Gamora in Thanos, a new limited series to be written by Tini Howard with art by Ariel Olivetti. And this looks like a really cool series. Yeah, so Howard has described the series as the confrontation of Thanos in regards to the fact that he is, in fact, totally insane, right? Yes. But he's also Thanos, so who's going to be the person to come and confront him about this in the grand scheme of things, right? Because that's terrifying. And of course, it's Gamora. So she was saying that she drew on things like True Grit and the team up of Sandor Clegane and Arya Stark from Game of Thrones to help her describe the relationship between the two, which was pretty cool. It's the classic duo of like the big guy and the little kid, right? And of course, the only thing that threatens the big guy is the little kid. So Gamora is even more dangerous than a regular child because effectively Thanos has taken everything from her and also taught her. So she's got nothing to lose.
Well, you know, I mean, I've seen a lot of people describe that relationship as problematic, like, you know, like problematic, like, you know, that's the go-to. But that's why it's interesting.
Yes.
And like, I think actually good on them for just kind of like, they could have, you know, in terms of Infinity Wars, the biggest movie of last year, they could have navigated it like, you know, like telling that story any different type of way, just to capitalize on that movie. Instead, they focus on a character relationship that I think is actually really intriguing.
Yes.
Something that's been in the comics for a while, but they can kind of put a more modern lens on it if they need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really into that. I think that's a really good angle to take.
Absolutely, for
I'm
sure.
Very curious about that. So.
Yeah, that new series will be coming out in April, so keep an eye out for that. Next up, Poppy, a YouTube sensation / pop star, is turning to the world of comics as her latest venture. So with Z2 Comics, the 24-year-old entertainer will be publishing Genesis 1, a graphic novel that will explore her mysterious origins. So she's well known for her surrealist videos that garner millions of views on her channel.
Very surreal.
Right. And the graphic novel is she a girl? Is she a machine? Is she humanity's redemption or its damnation? Don't be scared. Either way, she is Poppy, and you love Poppy. Witness the genesis of the internet phenomenon in this original graphic novel bundled with a brand new album.
And that's P-O-P-P-Y, not P-A-P-I.
No, P-O-P-P-Y like the flower.
Yeah, you know, so I sent both of you. I sent you and I sent our editor Johnny the music video for Poppy.
Thanks for that.
I mean, like, because like it is an earworm, but on top of that, you said it best. Yeah.
I'm like, are we in the middle of the Wicked and Divine here? This sort of cultish rock star creepiness?
Yeah.
Which I didn't know existed until this. So
there you go. No, I think it's interesting. You know, it reminds me a little. I don't know a lot about Baby Metal, but the little bit I've seen, it reminds me of Baby Metal. Also, I like, as a fan of Diane Edward, like the gimmickry, the gimmicky nature of it.
Absolutely, having a shtick.
Yeah,
I absolutely enjoy that about an artist. Having like the persona and making it something that's, you know, surreal and strange and like Deantour definitely has that going for them.
Like this type of anthology, like that type of mythology building. You know, like, you know, feed your brand. So
for sure,
I'm curious about it. Like I don't know what to expect. I have no expectations on this, so which is actually cool. So
so yeah, Genesis #1 arrives in comic shops July 10th. So if you guys are interested in that, check it out. Next up, Titan Comics are pleased to announce that best-selling writer Brendan Fletcher will be joining the superstar Robotech Comics team of Simon Furman and Henry Prasietia on the deck of the SDF-1. So this is based on the legendary 80s sci-fi animation by Harmony Gold, and it's going to be kicking off with a special primer issue on Free Comic Book Day. And you can expect the special edition to shine a spotlight on unseen events and major hints of things to come as the Robotech series charges up for an all-new spectacular storyline called Event Horizon, which is always an ominous title for anything.
Always,
So first airing in the USA in '85, Robotech was the gateway to anime for a lot of fans.
A lot, yeah.
Capturing their imagination with its epic generational storyline involving war, romance, and of course the transforming Veritech fighters that defend the Earth against extraterrestrial attacks.
Yeah,
always got to look out for those aliens.
Always.
They're problematic. So Robotech joins Doctor Who, the 13th Doctor, as the second of Titan's 2 free comic book day offerings.
Nice. Yeah, I'm curious about that. I think that'd be really cool.
Brendan Fletcher stuff, right?
I haven't read Motor Crush, which Brendan Fletcher also did, but I've heard really great things about it, and I'm getting the impression he's a bit of a gearhead, so this actually might be a good fit for him.
For sure. Also keeping in the retro
theme
of things there, right?
All 80s today, right?
Next up, 2000 AD is greatly saddened to confirm that artist Ron Smith has passed away. The former Spitfire pilot during World War II began his career in animation before moving into comics for Amalgamated Press, then DC Thompson, before moving to 2000 AD and Judge Dredd. Classic title, everybody knows and loves, right? He was one of the 5 iconic Dredd artists, and many of the strip's most unforgettable moments, from the Judge Child quest to Un-American Graffiti, from the hot dog run to the day the law died, have the name and style of Ron Smith stamped all over them. 2000 AD has lost another of its most treasured artists, a man whose unique work entertained millions over the course of 5 decades and who will be sorely missed.
Yeah, I've kind of, 2000 AD is kind of my new obsession right now.
Yeah.
I've just fell down a rabbit hole. I picked up this book called Black Max that they picked out recently. We did the video about Carla Esquerra, who just passed away as well. And he was another very important artist to 2000 AD. Yeah, I'm just like discovering more and more about this. So like definitely honor Ron Smith's passing.
For sure.
Definitely dive more into the world of 2000 AD. Also, just got to point out, man, some of these like older artists, like the previous generations, they just cranked out artwork like crazy.
They did, and with like no dips in quality or anything,
straight consistency.
Just plugging on through.
Yeah.
Like
it's impressive.
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, him, Esquerra, just monsters.
Yes,
just
absolutely.
Go. So yeah, equally impressive. Definitely honor his memory. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Aquaman has officially reached a box office milestone. The film passed $1 billion worldwide at the box office, becoming the first DCEU installment to do so. So Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises were the last films based on DC Comics to pass $1 billion.
Wow.
And Aquaman joins the elite company of films that opened in 2018 that reached $1 billion, including Black Panther and Avengers Infinity War. So, big news.
I'm really curious. Where's the DCEU? I guess that's the official name, right? Where are they going to go from here? Like, it's just like every time they had a plan, right? And it seems like they keep making these movies that end up being hits. More hits than the ones that I think they were really centering the franchise around.
Yes.
You know, like, because that was the case with Wonder Woman. But also, it's really wild that this surpassed Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like,
I mean, I guess I kind of do get it.
Yeah.
I feel like Aquaman had a lot more, again, lightheartedness to it than even Wonder Woman did. Wonder Woman has enough going for it compared to the other big blockbusters that they've put out, right? That have been definitely a lot more gritty and like dark DC kind of, theme.
Right, yeah.
And so it's not surprising that Aquaman has been the more popular.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Of the titles.
It also reminds me a little bit of like just how now you have this character who's like Iron Man with the Marvel movies.
Exactly.
Like it was just unprecedented. People just didn't expect.
No, not at all.
You know, and
of all the characters to pick to make a movie out of, Iron Man is the one, and then it becomes this huge thing. Yeah. Like, who knew?
Right.
And the same thing, like you said, is happening here.
Right. And so it's so crazy. I'm very curious where DC's going to go from here.
Absolutely.
I know Shazam is following up later this year.
And that looks fabulous.
And it looks fun. So we'll find out. We'll definitely find out. So like now we're going to take a look at the Previews toy chest. Of course, your local comic shop isn't just home to comics, home to toys as well. Natasha's here. She's going to show us. What was that? That was my phone. That's okay. Natasha's here, and she's going to show us some of the toys out this week. Check it out.
Hey Previews World, here's this week's rundown of some of the toys, statues, and collectibles hitting store shelves for the first time. Let's take a look inside the Previews toy chest. And that's not all. Be sure to check with your local comic shop for availability, and I'll see you here next week.
Thank you, Natasha. And plenty of cool toys, collectibles, statues, all hitting comic shops this week. But we're going to give away one of them.
Yes, we are.
And what are we going to give away?
We are giving away that really cool Iron Spider figure.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to win that, comment below on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching. Let us know what your favorite version of Spider-Man's costume is. We'll be taking entrants until next show, right?
Yeah.
Next week. And we'll pick a random commenter to win.
Yeah.
And of course, we have our winner from last week to announce this week. So last week's winner of the really cool bobbleheads from Karate Kid.
Right, the trio of bobbleheads.
Yeah, the trio of bobbleheads. We have Bling Gordon, who left us the comment, "I am Miyagi-Do. If done right, no can defense."
Yeah. I was like, I saw that and I was like, he's got to be the winner.
Yeah.
And you know, thank you for choosing good over evil. Well, I guess it depends on
how you see it.
How you see it, I guess, right? Yeah, like, because Cobra Kai might not be the bad guys anymore.
Yeah.
I really hope his real name is Bling.
Me too.
Just for the record.
Yes, absolutely. Bling, if that's your real name, that's really cool.
Right, yeah. We'll be disappointed if it's not your real name, but
true.
that's okay. You should probably change
Nicknames are fine, but you should probably change it.
You should probably change it,
You're
I'm just saying. So 2018, of course, wrapped up just a few weeks ago. But we haven't given you guys the top 10 bestsellers of the year. So Gretchen is here, and she's going to show us the top 10 comics of 2018. Did you pick up one of these books? Let us know. Here we go.
Hey Previews World, 2018 has come and gone, but what were the top-selling comics of last year? Let's take a look at the 10 titles that topped the charts in 2018. At number 10 is Amazing Spider-Man, issue 799 from Marvel Comics. At number 9 is The Batman Who Laughs, issue number 1 from DC Comics. Amazing Spider-Man returns at the number 8 spot with issue number 798. Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's Venom issue number 1 is number 7. And you can't keep Logan down. The Return of Wolverine issue number 1 was the 6th most popular title of 2018. Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley's Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 is at the number 5 spot. A lot of you were excited for the return of the Fantastic Four, and it shows with Fantastic Four issue number 1 at number 4. The Wedding of Batman and Catwoman makes the number 3 spot with Batman issue number 50. Spidey turns 800 with Amazing Spider-Man issue 800, the second most ordered title of 2018. Finally, drumroll please! Action Comics issue 1000 was the most popular book of 2018. A happy belated birthday to the Man of Steel. If you're looking for our full list of 2018's top sellers, including graphic novels and toys, simply head on over to PREVIEWSworld.com for more.
That was the top 10 bestsellers of 2018. Now, of course, there are other lists of like the top sellers of the year. We have graphic novels, we have toys. You can check them all out. Go to PREVIEWSworld.com/bestsellers and check out the full list. We're actually going to do a top 500 as well. So if these are just, I noticed like people are really concerned about numbers in the comic industry right now. So if you want to clarify, here you go, check that out. I also want to point out, like, hats off to Dan Slott. First of all, he tweeted out that, he pointed this out to us earlier, but I already saw this and I knew this was the case. He's got 4 out of 10 in the top 10. And
that's impressive.
Yeah, like hats off
really
to
cool.
him. Like, we showed the tweet for you, but like, I thought it was interesting because like, it gets a lot of flack from fans sometimes. But in actuality, like,
yeah, they love him.
People love him. Like, people like his writing style. And like, I've read his stuff. I read his She-Hulk. His She-Hulk was good. I've read plenty of his Spider-Man stuff. His Spider-Man stuff is good. So yeah, congratulations to you. And like I said, check out PREVIEWSworld.com/bestsellers for a complete comprehensive list of everything that's sold in the past year.
Oh yeah.
And now we're going to do Social Swamp. We asked you guys about HBO's Watchmen series. You have some opinions. Let's hear them.
So we wanted to know what you guys thought of this first look at the new Watchmen series. Phil K. Johnson said, so if this is a sequel, looks interesting, I'm taking it's an older Ozymandias. I take it the yellow-faced cops are for super prisoners. Rorschach too, I'm guessing. So a lot of theories there from our buddy Phil. Adam J. Bunch said, we've only seen a few seconds, so who knows, but I'll be watching.
I didn't catch that the first time. Okay, I see what you did. I see what you did.
Aaron Orenstein said, I'd say forfeit the rights to Watchmen if I were running Warner Brothers /DC. That grim dark diva of a story needs to be put to rest.
A little sad. A little saucy there.
And then Jonathan Sample has his quote here from good old Alan Moore that just says, bollocks.
That was actually my favorite one.
Very funny.
Because it's probably true.
Yeah.
You know,
A lot of people have a lot of opinions about it.
A lot of people have a lot of opinions about it. I have this thing. I'm not a big TV watcher. Every now and then I latch onto a show and I get fixated on it and I'll see it through to the end. Right. But I've been burned too many times by TV shows. One of those shows was Lost. Which happens to be and Damon Lindelof, who's behind Lost, is actually behind this. So I'm proceeding with caution. Now that said, he did a book called Ultimate Hulk and Wolverine. They actually did a comic called Ultimate Hulk versus Ultimate Wolverine. It was actually a lot of fun. And he also did a show called Leftovers, which everybody tells me, no one has ever said anything bad about it. So maybe it'll be good. We'll see. I mean, we're branching out.
That's always the case. We'll see.
We'll see.
Right?
Yeah.
With all the comic stuff that comes out, it's all been very hit or miss. Right?
True. Yeah.
And you know, I get the like giving up Watchmen. It's a heavy story, right? And we've seen it once, right? And I'm not entirely sure where they're going to take it in the series,
right? Yeah.
Considering what we've already seen.
Yeah. I mean, well, everything I've read, like I saw there was one person who said it was a sequel. He thought maybe it was a sequel. It's a theory. It's just from my understanding, it's just a complete reimagining. Like they're taking the themes and the concepts within the story and just like doing something completely different, most likely to fit an episodic TV show.
There you go.
So, but I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, they also been very mum on like a lot of the details of this show. Which could work for them or against them. I don't know.
Again, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, like, it looks cool.
Yes.
But
visually stunning.
It looks cool.
But it's, 2019. If it's not visually stunning, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
We have the technology.
We have the technology. We can build them. Yeah, but I'm also a bit of an Alan Moore sympathizer, so, I'm kind of like, leave us Watchmen alone. But whatever.
Leave them alone.
But I get it. We got to keep these things alive because if we don't do things with them, the public consciousness will just forget about it, and then we'll lose a great story. So it is important to do different things with these stories.
Fair enough.
That's almost it for us this week on Previews World Weekly, right? But we do want to do our normal comic shop shout out.
Yep.
And who do we have this week?
This week we have Edwin Boyette, who has told us that here in Honolulu, Other Realms Limited is a great store with great people. So
I love that one. So we're going to show you pictures during the end credits of the show. But I noticed, like, because they're in Hawaii, they're all doing the Hang 10 sign.
It's really cool.
Which I kind of love. Yeah, there's a nice one with Stan Lee, too.
Yeah, you get a little peek at the local culture.
You're right, exactly. Right? And I mean, it's interesting because I always point this out to people, like, there's the stereotype of what a comic shop is, right? And it's often repeated too often. Like, people have this idea of what a comic shop is. But in actuality, every comic shop is different, and it just so happens to Other Realms.
Yeah.
Is proof of that. So, shout out to you guys, and that's it for us this week.
Yeah.
This has been Previews World Weekly. I'm Troy Jeffrey Allen.
And I'm Thea, and we'll see you at the spinner rack.
Thanks for watching Previews World Weekly. If you like the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes.